Hello everyone, I am Dr. Parul Malhotra, Associate Professor, Jagannath University, Jaipur. In today's video, we will be learning about the media audience behavior. The topics to be studied in this video are audience behavior, uses and gratification theory, then reception studies and interpretative communities. So to begin with, we'll start with the uses and gratification theory. In one of my previous videos related to the theories of mass communication, I have also explained uses and gratification theory in much detail. And in this video, the theory is mentioned in brief. So you can also refer that video in which this theory was discussed in detail. So the uses and gratification theory is a communication theory that focuses on how individuals use media to fulfill their specific needs and achieve gratification. It suggests that people are active participants in the media consumption process and have specific motivations for selecting and using media. The uses and gratification theory discusses the effects of the media on people. It explains how people use the media for their own need and get satisfied when their needs are fulfilled. In other words, it can be said that the theory argues what people do with media rather than what media does to people. It is the other way around. Like in many of the slides and many of the videos and the notes that you must have studied, we always talk what media is doing, what are the functions of media, why media is here, what is the importance of media. But this particular theory actually looks at the other side, or I must say that it is a kind of a vice versa thing. It does not mention that what media is doing for us rather than what people are actually doing with media. That is, we are watching it, we are using it for entertainment or any kind of recreation, or maybe time pass, or maybe finding value to our own life, gaining insight in our own life. We are using it for our personal insecurities, we are using it for social interaction. There are lot many reasons that this theory mentions. So it says that people need media and many needs have been listed in this theory. Also, this theory is in contradiction to the magic bullet theory, which states that audience is passive. In magic bullet theory, it was very clearly clearly stated that audiences are considered as passive ducks, and media is sending the messages to them, bombarding the messages to them like a bullet. But this theory has a user or audience centered approach, that even for communication, say interpersonal, people refer to the media for the topics to discuss among selves. So this shows that audience are not passive, but they are very active audience, and they are knowingly using the media and understand what need of theirs media is serving. There are several needs and gratification for the people. They are categorized into 5 needs: cognitive needs, affective needs, personal integrative needs, social integrative needs, and tension-free needs. So what cognitive needs mean? Means people use media for acquiring knowledge, information, facts, etc. Among the audience, some have the thirst to acquire intellectual and academic knowledge. This is not a very common phenomenon. Different people have different needs. For example, quiz programs on television give on factual knowledge. To know about current affairs, people need to watch the news regularly. Search engines on the internet are also very popular, since people can browse for any topic easily under the run with no time restriction. So media is actually serving the cognitive, intellectual needs of the audience, and it helps them to acquire the academic knowledge or any kind of information from the entire world. Then comes the affective needs. Effective needs include all the types of emotions, pleasure, and moods of the people. People use media, say television or cinema, to satisfy their emotional needs. The best example would be when people get emotional, or sometimes even they cry for a sad scene while watching the movie or a soap opera. And it's not always for the information. You all must just jot down certain needs, that why you watch media, though it may be at times passing the times, or yes, you have a particular affection for a particular serial. Like women have a particular affection for the women centric serials, like Anupma is these days a very famous serial. There was a time when Colors channel was started, and there was a very popular serial that was on child marriage system that was prevalent in Rajasthan. It was Balika Vadhu. So people had emotions attached to such soap operas, and not only the soap operas, even the celebrities, their favorite film stars, they have emotions attached to them. And whenever they see the movie of their favorite superstar is about to get released, or a movie on a particular issue is about to get released, and yes, I really want to see, or somebody really want to see, so this serves the emotional, you can say, the need of the audience. So that is why we say that media also serves the affective needs of the audience by large. Then comes the personal integrative needs. This is the self-esteem lead. People use media to reassure their status, gain credibility, and stabilize. So people watch television and assure themselves that they have a respectable status in society. Like people watch advertisements in the media like jewelry ads, furniture ads, apparel ads, and buy these products so that they can change their lifestyle. Hence, the media helps them to do so. That is, they are able to connect with whatever the things are shown in the media, and they feel pride in that whenever they acquire the same thing, like wearing the jewelry worn by their favorite superstar or the favorite actor or actress. Like dressing senses are being always copied. Saris of Madhuri Dixit, and then dressing sense in the movie given by Bunty and Bubbly, that became very popular. The Friends cap became very popular. The bracelet worn by Salman Khan is very popular. So it is actually not the emotional need. You connect with that superstar and you feel pride in wearing the same accessory or the dress that your superstar is being wearing. Long back, if I talk about olden times, then people used to copy Vinod Khanna and Amitabh Bachchan in for their hairstyles and for their dressing sense. The bell bottoms were actually made popular by these two superstars only. Later on, the hairstyle of Sanjay Dutt became talk of the town, and we was many boys were seen having the same haircut. So it is just a kind of a personal integration, a kind of a self-esteem. Yes, that I saw iPhone on the screen, a new iPhone is being launched, and you feel certain self-esteem when you are able to buy that particular phone. So these are the needs that media is serving. It's not only the knowledge, but a kind of an emotional need, and also a kind of a self-esteem need. Then social integrative need. It encompasses the need to socialize with family, friends, and relations in society. For social interaction nowadays, people do not seem to gather socially during weekends. Instead, they have turned to social networking sites on the internet, such as Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, etc., to satisfy their needs. Another example is people may start watching a particular program not because they have any kind of a self interest, but because their neighbor, friend watches it, such that both the parties may have something in common to discuss. That is, whenever we are active on social media sites, we usually social integrate with the people with whom we do not know as well, but it actually satisfy a need of being socially connected with others, and then we have a lot of topic to talk also whenever we are in the gathering. So this is what social integrative needs says. Then tension free needs. Media sometimes is being used as a means to escape from the real world and to release or to relieve the tension and the stress. Mostly we watch movies, we read books, or we listen to songs just to release certain tension that we are carrying, and we want to escape from the real world. For example, people tend to relax while watching television, listening to radio, surfing the internet, etc. In fact, media has the power to grab audience mind, since it makes them feel connected with the situation and character factors, emotions. I hope you understand these five needs. That is, first need serves the knowledge purpose, the second need hits our emotion, the personal integrative needs hits the self-esteem, that we feel pride in being connected with any of the things or people we see on silver screen or in the media. Then the social integrative need, media gives us a platform where we can integrate with the people socially over social media as well as in person as well. And the last is the tension free, that is providing you a platform where you can release your tension and release your stress and enjoy some moments of life in the form of book, surfing net, listening to music or watching television. Okay, now let us come to the next topic, that is the reception theory. Reception theory, also known as audience reception theory or reader response theory, is a theoretical framework within media studies and literary criticism that examines how audiences or readers actively interpret and make meaning from media texts. Developed primarily by scholars such as Stuart Hall, Hans Robert Joss, and Wolfgang Iser, reception theory challenges the notion of passive audience and emphasizes the active role of audience in the process of media interpretation. It suggests that meaning of media text is not solely determined by the intentions of the author or producer, but is actively constructed by the audience through their engagement with the text. In a very nutshell, this theory talks about that whenever media text or media content is delivered to the audience, it is not only the intentions of the sender, the author, the program producer, or the film producer, but the success of that content, the interpretation of that content highly depends on the audience engagement with that particular content. What are the principles of reception theory? The first principle is encoding as well as decoding. We must have studied this process in one of my first videos of unit 1 and 2, where we understood the process of communication and understood what is encoding and decoding. The process of encoding refers to how media texts are constructed and imbued with certain meanings by their authors or producers. Decoding, on the other hand, refers to how audiences interpret and decode these meanings when engaging with the text. Reception theory recognizes that there can be different preferred or intended readings by the producers, but audience may also have their own interpretation that deviate from or challenge the intended meaning. See, everyone has their own perception and understanding level, and it is very difficult to understand that sender as that difficult to ascertain that whether the receiver has understood in the same manner as it was intended by the sender, because the interpretations and the effect of the messages can only be understood from the receiver's point of view. So there is lot of difference in the interpretations given by the audiences. Second is active audience. Reception theory emphasizes that audiences are active participants in the process of media reception. They bring their own social, cultural, and ideological backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives that shape how they interpret media texts. These factors influence their reception and meaning making processes. Third is negotiated reading. Reception theory introduces the concept of negotiated reading, which suggests that audience may engage with media text by partially accepting and partially resisting the intended meaning. Audiences may interpret and adopt the text in ways that align with their own beliefs, values, and interests. Next is reception context. The context in which media texts are received plays a significant role in shaping their interpretation. Factors such as the cultural, social, and historical context of the audiences, as well as their individual experiences and identities, influence how they receive and interpret media text. Now let us come to the last topic of this video, that is the interpretative communities. Interpretative communities refer to groups or communities of individuals who share a similar framework of interpretation when engaging with texts, including media text. These communities form based on common beliefs, values, cultural backgrounds, and shared understandings of how to interpret and make meaning from texts. In the context of media, interpretative communities can form around various forms of media content, including television shows, films, books, online forums, and social media platforms. These communities come together to engage in discussions, debates, and analysis of media texts, sharing their interpretations and perspectives. Let us understand this much in detail that what are the detailed meaning of interpretative communities in the context of media. Shared interpretative framework. Interpretive communities share a common framework of interpretation that guides their understanding and meaning making process when engaging with media texts. This framework can include shared values, ideologies, cultural references, and prior experiences that influence how members of the community interpret and make sense of the media content. Then comes the collective interpretation. Members of interpretative communities engage in collective interpretation where they actively discuss and exchange ideas about the meaning and significance of media texts. These discussions often take place in formal and informal settings, such as online forums, fan communities, or book clubs. Influence on interpretation. The interpretive community's collectively interpretations and discussions can shape and influence individual members' understanding of media texts. Exposure to alternative perspectives and interpretations within the community can challenge or expand individual interpretations. Interpretive communities demonstrate the social and cultural dimensions of media interpretation and highlight the role of collective meaning making processes. They provide a space for individuals to engage with media texts in a communal context, sharing and validating their interpretations within a specific community of like minded individuals. I hope you all have well understood the concept of uses and gratification theory, reception analysis, and the interpretive communities. Thank you so much for watching this video.